Hi, and congratulations on receiving your first trial device. We're excited to explore this AAC journey with you. My name is Megan Covey, and I'm one of the AAC evaluators at Westside Children's Therapy. And I'm going to go over just some basics all about AAC and talk about why you might be trialing what you're trialing and give you some tips to bring this technology into your home as seamlessly as we can. So let's get started here. So after me chatting today, hopefully you'll be able to learn about your child's AAC system, talk about best practices in AAC, and then incorporate this into your life. So um, I want to just go really briefly over a quick definition of AAC. So it's augmentative and alternative communication. So it can supplement verbal speech or can be instead of verbal speech. So these also can work together, and it depends on what journey your child is on as to what AAC might look like for them now and in the future. So AAC can be a tool to bring them to verbal speech, or in the absence of verbal speech, can be a tool to get their wants and needs met longer term. So if you want to learn more about AAC, here is a link to Cincinnati Children's Hospital to learn about the different technology systems in AAC that's out there. So before we dive into kind of the best practices of AAC, I want to talk about these different AAC buckets. And there's different camps that AAC systems fall into. So after attending your AAC evaluation, you were probably talked to about the different strengths that your student was showing. And so at Westside, we use a strengths-based approach in order to determine what systems are going to match your child's strengths. And so the strengths fall into these different areas. So, operationally based navigation strengths include systems like LAMP, Speak for Yourself, and Unity. And some of the best examples I can give for these systems are I know on my phone, I know exactly where my Gmail application is. I can click it without even looking. If someone were to move it on me, I would be very confused. It would take me a lot longer to find what I'm looking for, and I would be really frustrated. So, um, students that are trialing an operationally navigation based system strive off of knowing where that button, that icon, that symbol is going to be to depend on it to represent that word that they're looking for. Another example of this that I use in my personal life, we used to have the pole chain in the basement. I went downstairs and pulled that same spot where the pole chain was months after I knew that we switched it to a light switch, because I had gotten into that plan of when I go downstairs, I pull the light. When I go downstairs, I pull the light. And it wasn't there anymore. So I had to unteach myself that motor plan in order to do something different. So we use, again, students' strengths to teach language in this way. So LAMP, Speak for Yourself, and Unity all fall in this category. If you're trialing something like TouchChat, NovaChat, or Poloco to Go, you're trialing something that has a stronger linguistically based navigation system. This means that your student has a stronger understanding of language, in that they might understand that letters and sounds make up words. And so they would be able to search for vocabulary words using this underlying knowledge. So if they were looking for the word like, they would be able to go into the category verbs, find the letter L, and then pull up the word like using the symbol plus the letter. This system is also arranged into categories. So it's into nouns, verbs, adjectives, prepositions. So you can string together sentences based on these different categories as well. Environmentally based navigation systems are like SnapCore. So it helps the student navigate their environment using this environmentally based navigation system. So the best example I can give for this is that let's say I'm talking about something in the kitchen and I want to be able to cook. I would have all the vocabulary to talk about everything in the kitchen to cook, because it's based on the environment that I'm in. And then pragmatically based navigation systems are based on the interactions between different individuals, and that's called POD. So if you're looking to tour more about these systems, to learn specifically how to program a button, why this symbol is on this button, why this word is paired with this symbol, I would encourage you to take the tour down here. If you don't see the system that your student is trialing for any reason, your AAC evaluator will follow up with an additional video here. So now we'll talk about AAC best practices. So there's kind of these four best practices that everyone at Westside uses, and that's access, making sure the system is available for use, modeling, consistently using it, core vocabulary, what words are on the device, and what are we going to teach first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then communication opportunities. So how do we provide practice throughout the day? So let's talk about access first. We want to make sure the system is out at all times. We are bringing this trial device into their world. It's now going home with them. It should be going to school. It should be going to therapies. And so it shouldn't be taken away. And so if you're ever tempted to take an AAC system away, think to yourself, what would you do if this child was verbal or had more verbalizations? With a new technology, you're probably going to hear your child exploring quite a bit, and that can get very repetitive, but we can think about it as a baby babbling, playing with sounds, playing with letters, figuring out how it all works together. So just want to put that little reminder out there. And now we're going to talk about modeling. And modeling is using the AAC means that you use the communication system while you talk to show how it can be used. So as I'm talking, I'm showing on the communicator what I'm saying as I say it. So here's a really nice video about modeling, and I would encourage you to watch this after this. And this is probably one of my favorite quotes. I think it's really, really meaningful and is a nice reminder. So by 18 months, babies have heard 4,380 hours of spoken language, and we don't expect them to be fluent speakers yet. If AAC learners only see symbols modeled twice weekly for 20 to 30 minutes, it will take them 84 years for them to have the same exposure to aided language as an 18-month-old to spoken language. So this means we all have a really important job in providing AAC modeling throughout their day. And to do that, we want it to be motivating. And so we have to be really mindful and specific about our vocabulary selection. So we need both core and fringe vocabulary in order to give meaning to our environment. So core vocabulary is a small set of words that make up about 80% of what we say and do. And then we have fringe vocabulary, which is the stuff that's most important to us. And that's going to vary from person to person. Mine would be tacos, coffee, golf. Your child's might be chicken nuggets, Daniel Tiger, whatever it is. And then how you talk about that is the core. So I like Daniel Tiger. I eat chicken nuggets. And so this is kind of some core vocabulary in action. So if we use the word open, we can say open the bottle, and then an hour later we can open the door. It applies to many different contexts. And then as we're using and figuring out what words to start with in our environment, follow your child's lead. So I like to think of the 4 L's here. So look, listen, learn, and let them lead. So the child's reaching for the fishbowl. He came over to his communicator, talker, words, whatever your family chooses to call it. He touched water and said wah. And it looks like mom's learning here. Oh, you like Goldie the goldfish? She went over, got the goldfish bowl for him. And then he found get fish food. And she said, sure, let's get the fish food. So this is important just to be able to think about communicating what your child wants to communicate for. This down here is a nice little guide. And hopefully I'll keep screencasting here so that you can see all of this. But what this does, if you can't see this, and I'll talk about it just briefly here. So it talks about the people that they might want to communicate for and with. It talks about the places your child might want to communicate for, activities, bath time, snack time, breakfast, lunch, could be like a community activity like soccer or swimming, cuckoo clock. can be things like dress up, videos, lunch, playground, can be at speech therapy, can be toys like playing with ball, playing with blocks, playing with games, playing with dinosaurs, and then talking about things at school too. So if you're getting stuck with, oh, what is the most important vocabulary? My child needs all of it. Think about, you can use that as a guide to think about it. And so, as we were talking about core vocabulary that's available and out there, some of the top words used by most people include these. So this can be kind of a nice starting point if you're feeling stuck and overwhelmed. And you can work with your treating clinician to make sure these are programmed and available if you deem it fit. This is a really fun website if you're looking for a way to see core vocabulary in action. So this website has you describe a cheetah and how a volcano works using only 1,000 most words in English. So if you were to do that on your own, you could say something like a big cat that runs fast and has spots. For many of the kiddos that are just getting trial devices, they might have more buttons than this. They might have fewer buttons than this. But I encourage you to take a look and explore yourselves on ways to say things that you would need to say. So let's say you wanted your chicken nuggets warmed up. Would you be able to do it? So I would look here and I would say, you know what? I could probably say, I want help, and then point to the microwave. If they were too hot, I would say, ooh, don't want that. Okay, I could do that, definitely. If I ate all my chicken nuggets, I could say, you know what? I think I want some more of those chicken nuggets. They were delicious. So yes, I would be able to talk through that scenario. So just pre-thinking about those different scenarios can help you as the communication partner be more engaged and helpful in those different scenarios as they're learning this new technology and this new communication platform. And then as we think about communication opportunities, there are only 4 main reasons why people communicate, and that's to express wants and needs, get and share information, build relationship, and engage in social etiquette. So we need opportunities to practice each of these every day. So I really like this visual of AAC everywhere. So everyone's day looks a little bit different, but let's say you're at school, they're going to be using the talker while they're at school. Then we return home. While we're at home, we're going to follow the child's lead and see what they want to do when they get home. We'll wait, the art of waiting. Let's see what they want to communicate for. Show them TV, show them show. Then we provide aided language stimulation. This is another word for modeling. So while they're winding down, while you're having dinner, while you're in the bathtub, you can be showing them, oh, we're eating. I like to eat. I like this drink. How was your day? It was so much fun. I like seeing you. And just talking to them using their talker. Breakfast, playtime, lunch, and then we do it all over again. So research has shown that AAC users need at least 200 communication opportunities every day in order to use their system well. So this is a commitment for family, but the outcome will be incredible with your buy-in. So thank you for being part of this process. So having a communication device doesn't make you an effective communicator any more than having a piano makes you a musician. So I just like that reminder as we think about the next few weeks as we try all this technology. So in summary, make sure the AAC system is available at all times. Model language on the system. Focus on core words. And have those motivating nouns present, and set up as many meaningful communication opportunities as possible. So thank you for supporting AAC users, and this whole thing was adapted from all of these different people. Please reach out to myself or any of your AAC evaluators or your treating clinician with any more specific questions. We would be happy to answer those and provide more specific resources. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.